time for the one and the only show. It can only be the Luke Howard Show live. Thank you very much. Thank you. Such a lovely audience. Morning. It is Monday the 27th of April 2020. Brand new week on the one and the only show, the Luke Howard Show. And we've got a great show to kickstart it today. Got lots to get through, lots of stuff to talk about today, including National Tell a Story Day. Now, we'll get to that in a minute, but first, I really hope that everyone had a safe, happy weekend, and I hope you had a great Saturday and Sunday and enjoyed it, and I hope you all stayed at home and done your gardens, because it was absolutely beautiful. And it's another glorious day today. It's going to be glorious all week this week, but we are expecting rain apparently at some time, but I'm actually quite not sure when about, so but I don't know whenabouts it'll be. But it is 10 a.m, which means it is the one and the only show, the Luke Howard Show. Well, 10 a.m-ish. It's around about then, because that's when I post out the recorded show, don't I? So around about 10 it comes out usually. So, but yeah, it comes out sometime of the day. So we record it now, and it comes out sometimes on the day it's supposed to be. So I recorded this show yesterday, which was Sunday, so I know I like to have a rest on a Sunday, but I still did it. And then I shall record tomorrow's show this afternoon sometime, and then tomorrow's show I shall record for Wednesday sometime. So that's what we're doing now, and then we post it out around 10 or 11ish, or half 11ish, that sort of, around that sort of area, sort of ish. So yeah, so just thought I'd let you know about that, and I hope everybody is coping very well with what has been going on at this moment, and I really hope everyone is okay. And I hope you've been clapping for the NHS on a Thursday evening, which is what we've been doing, which has been amazing. There's been some great videos, including a video recording that my sister did of me last week. It's actually a video, but I can always put it on the show sometime. It's an amazing video of me clapping with my saucepans. I'm sure all my friends on WhatsApp have saw me do that. It's an amazing, very funny what I was doing with saucepans and that. Very good. So, yeah, so there we go. So I hope you enjoyed looking at that video. I want to thank my sister for doing a little video for me. So, yeah, and we'll post it out sometime this week. Okay, so we're talking about Prince Philip now, which is our first story of the week. So, Prince Philip has saved James Bond with a bit of help from, well, the Express. So, thousands of fans line the streets outside the Odeon Leicester Square, causing the widows of the cinema to cave in. So Blackman reflected, "It was the most glamorous ride of my life." So Blackman considered the judo kicking of Blondie Bombshell a feminist icon. Now, she disapproved of the term blonde and the virus that appealed in the later Band movies. Now, 007, another Ian Fleming, and had a original written, Pussy Galore, apparently it was called, as a lesbian gangster. Now, but the film, the producers played down for love of woman. Now, the character was now Goldfinger of the personal pilot and the leader of an all-female flying squad. So Blackman felt she won the role for one simple reason, and she was the hottest thing on television. The film fans saw that her playful tussle in the hay with the company sizzled with sexuality apparently, and Blackman described the masculine actor 5 years her junior as a sexist devil in the world, apparently. That's what they were saying. So she said that there was a great attraction between the things we talk about on this show, the things we talk about, two of them. Now, she joked, looking back, "It's amazing to me that they didn't catch fire," and the husky voice star looks back on her long-standing association, apparently, with James Bond fondly. Now, Blackman admitted Goldfinger had made a great difference to her life, and put that she was also resigned to the effective galore and had its career. She said, "It's the terrible bore because nobody remembers that anything else one has done become. Everybody thinks of her in Goldfinger." And I think, when did Goldfinger come out? Do we know what year it came out? We don't know what year it came out. Nobody knows. So, some people do know, some people don't know, and I don't know what year it came out, but it should say what year it was. But there's a photo on my script of Prince Philip with the stars of the film Goldfinger, and I have seen the film before. It's an amazing film. I must say, one of my dad's friends at his work, is from South Africa, so morning to hit the South African bloke. Well, I'll tell you something. They call him Goldfinger. And every time we see him, we go, when we've been down and we see him in the streets or whatever, we go, all right, Goldfinger. Don't know why, we just do. I'm not quite sure. But I'll have to find out why we do it. But we'll find out about it and we'll let you know on the show. Okay, so let's go to National Days now, because I want to say that today's a very special day. Now, do any of our listeners today like telling a story? Because if you do, it is Tell a Story Day. Now, it's on April the 27th, if you heard me right, but it's not in this country. It's actually in the United States. And it encourages people of all ages to share all kinds of stories, whether it's read from a book or from an English course. My tutor, my personal tutor Emma, would be amazed about this. It's an actual story from a childhood memory. The day supports gathering friends and family to share those stories. Now, storytelling is an ancient practice used to hand down knowledge from one generation to the next. It's a wonderful way to pass on family traditions, histories, and long-told tales, and can be entertaining as well as educational. And some of the very best stories come from real-life experience. Okay, so many people enjoy listening to their grandparents share their stories about, when they were growing up back in the day, or spending time telling stories with families and friends. And loved ones is a time for all to learn from each other, to remember and to grow close together. Now, besides creating a bonding environment, oral storytelling provides rich empowerments to recipients while connecting to past to the present. Oral storytelling also fosters creativity, encourages the use of immigration at these times. So what it does is it engages the audience and invites them to participate too. If you post stuff on social media, apparently, and to be sure that you can give your characters their own voice, and you can get physical body movements, give your stories extra impact. It calls mental health, of course. It asks your audience questions, and you can also use visualization to surprise your audience, and you can also use facial expressions to punch your words. Use this powerful tool to drive a character's emotion home. It's an amazing thing to celebrate. Absolutely amazing. So if you are celebrating Story Day today, enjoy. Tell your family stories. Tell your sons. Tell your daughters. Tell everyone in your family about it. Get involved. Get your hands stuck in and enjoy National Story Day, which is amazing. So we'll leave that one there, okay? We'll leave that one there because I want to move on now to DIY and weather, which is loosened lockdown. So people were urged to keep to the lockdown rules the other day as growing members. This is on Saturday. This is over the weekend, actually. But it was growing numbers and it looked advantage of sunny weather. So there were quotes outside that represented shops and much more traffic on the road. So this weekend was actually promoting Home Secretary Priti Patel. I know Priti Patel very well, and she said we are not out of danger yet, and she said that it is imperative that people continue to follow the rules and designed to protect their families and their friends and their loved ones. So Apple Maps COVID-19 mobility, it trends data showed that walking in London has gone up markedly in the past 3 days alone. So walkers and cyclists also flocked to parks and the coasts, while others queued up outside recently at a reopened DIY store. Blimey. So the Apple data showed that each weekend in April, between April the 4th and April the 18th, the number of people walking, driving and transiting, it actually climbed steadily. So earlier this month, Derbyshire Police and Crime Considerate Hardell Dienza, she warned that isolation feature, which could set, in a pose and genre to threat to the lockdown regime. So Tory MP Damien Green said that the government is acting sensibly and that it is people that should keep to the rules. He added and said that I think the government has taken the view, which is a sensibly view, and they have established a successful lockdown, and that putting that at risk would be, truly damage and the country more than anything else. Now, Ken Marsh of the Metropolitan Police Federation the other night said that he believes that there were mixed messages coming out from the government about the lockdown. He said that police officers are on the front line of combating the coronavirus crisis, and we need clear and dangerous laws, guidance and communication from government. officers are confused about it all, though, aren't they? And it's then so will the police be as well. So everyone's confused about it, really, to be honest with you. And Priti Patel said that she warned everybody incredible exploitation in the coronavirus crisis that we are on to you. And she said that while a number of some offences, such as shoplifting, that had fallen crime and had not gone into lockdown, domestic violence and fraud were concerns, as were dangerous drivers. And Miss Patel told the Daily Downing Street briefing that provisional police data showed an overall drop in the crime since lockdown, with car crime, burglary and shoplifting all lower than during the same time last year. And however, the most how do I say this? Supportive, organised, cremational were trying to cash it in on the crisis, and she added that addressing criminals, that Miss Patel said that our world class is enforcement, and is also adapting to that. They are on the efforts and are well paying off, I suppose, which is true. And domestic violence remains a concern. And the website of the government that You Are Not Alone campaign is to help victims and explain that they can leave an abusive home, and have received 98 million online visits, which is amazing, really, to be honest with you, that they've had so many people looking that up. The National Crime Agency, which is NCA, has alerted police to 1,300 potential online child sex abuse cases during the lockdown. And she also said that meanwhile dangerous drivers had been using the empty roads on their own, just to go out for no reason, really, just to go out for drives and stuff, and police haven't even catched them or caught them. And Miss Patel revealed that one driver had been recorded travelling at 151 miles per hour on the M1, and another had reached 133 miles per hour in a 40 mile per hour zone in London. There's just some stupid people out there, though, isn't there, who just go out there and just think they can go out for nothing, but they shouldn't do it. And I'm sorry, they shouldn't do it at all. So the NCA's Director General Lynne Owens also said that police forces is nationwide and have seized 24 illegal firearms and more than 360 kilograms of class drugs during the lockdown. The coronavirus related that fraud is on the rise, with 2.4 million believed to have already been lost to scammers. She said that fraudsters have used the current situation to peddle fake testing kits and prescription drugs. In the last month, the National Cyber Security Centre, together with the NCA and City of London Police, have been taken down more than 2,000 scams relating to coronavirus, including fake online shops, malware, distribution sites, and punishing sites seeking personal information such as passwords or credit card details. Now, while the nationwide restrictions are in place, we are, pursuing relentlessly that the most harmful criminals, whoever and whatever they are. And she also said that yesterday the Home Secretary urged people not to flout the lockdown rules and appropriately with social distancing measures and during this warm weather. So we will leave that one there, because we've got just one more story to talk about. I must talk about this. This is a very interesting story, because yoga teachers' business is also at risk after losing out of grants. So the coronavirus crisis could destroy a yoga teacher's business. Of course, all these sort of classes, we're looking at the sports classes now and the calm classes, with thousands due to technical error. Now, Paula Gardner, who owns the Space 2B Yoga and Petra Studio in Broxbourne, believed that would be able to apply for 25,000 grant, and that would help safeguard the business's future. However, though, the space that she uses is currently leased by Broxbourne Council, and as part of Paula's rent, a service charge is added on to include business rates. That means that she is not critical and recently registered to a business that rate system and cannot claim any grants that they would ensure her business can survive. The business has provided yoga and Pilates support from the studio in New River Trading Estate for the past 4 years with 200 numbers, but the coronavirus crisis could threaten the success, and the closure has already had an impact on the owner, with many of the business's costs still needing to be paid regardless of the situation. That's still money I've got to find, Paula said. And she said, I haven't paid myself any money this month. I've not been able to pay myself, and I've the rent. I haven't got the rent for March, she said. They're classing me for the March. I usually get the April money. in and then pay for everything. I've got about 5,000 debt now, and I haven't even, well, she hasn't even paid herself this month either, would you believe? And that debt, she said, that would have been paid off with the similar 10,000 quid. And grant, that must small businesses similar to the size of the space to be